So I got a pretty cool announcement for everyone. The multi-tenant assessment is officially out for the CIS Critical Security Controls. This is something a lot of you have been asking for is how do I take your existing critical security controls, Power BI template, and do it for multiple clients, especially clients that you're tracking over time, and having a place where you can see all of those clients in one dashboard for long-term management. And that's really what this template is designed to do. Is it lets you pull in multiple clients, so you can see multiple clients in one kind of dashboard or and look at their individual assessments without having to spin up a bunch of different dashboards. And then the other thing it lets you do is do multiple assessments over time and then track those clients over time. So hopefully their maturity will be increasing, but you'll be able to track that over time, whether it's increasing or decreasing. So I'm going to take just a couple minutes here and we're going to walk through what this template looks like. So I'm actually going to start here in the Client Assessment tab. And this tab is going to look very familiar to the CIS Critical Security Controls kind of single assessment template that already exists today. It takes the exact same data input file that template uses. So if you're already using my other template, the assessments are performed the same way. The only difference here is we're adding a client name to those assessments, and we're also adding an assessment date. So if we wanted to look at a specific assessment here, we can take a look at a specific client and then look at their assessments on different assessment days. So if I wanted to look on this one that was done in March instead, we can choose that, and then this will automatically load up that specific assessment. And then same thing here, it's going to load all our clients in. So if I actually wanted to look at Gadgets Inc., for example, I can select that client, it'll load up their assessments, and I can go ahead and choose which assessment out of that assessment date that I want to see. And so that's really useful. We want to look at all of our individual assessments on different days over time and with different clients. But really what's really useful is being able to get a holistic bird's eye view across your entire client base. And so that's where this multi-tenant dashboard tab comes in. And so if we shoot over there, there's a bunch of different visuals here that are really designed to get a bird's eye view of your entire client base. We can see how many clients you have loaded up into the multi-tenant template, how many total assessments, so this will be all the assessments across all your clients you have loaded up. It's going to look at the average score as well as the target score across your entire client base. And this is only looking at your most recent assessments for each client. So if you have assessments from multiple different time periods, it's only looking at the most recent one. Our client assess scores, we can go through here and look at, hey, what was their most recent assess score, their most recent target, and then what's the gap between that score? It's on a scale from 0 to 4. And then we can also look at how our clients are plotted on a scatter plot against their target score here on the x-axis. So what was their target? Close further to the right, we have a higher target for them. Further to the left, we have a smaller target for them. And then where were they actually assessed on their most recent assessment on the y-axis here. And so we can see where they fall between where we want them to be and where they are. Down here, this is looking at all of the assessments over time for each client. And so we can see if they're doing better or doing worse. And this is actually looking at what percentage of their target score was actually achieved. And so we're not looking for 100% achievement across all 3 implementation tiers and every safeguard and every security control. We're looking at what was the target we set for them, and then how much of that target have they achieved in that assessment. If we want to get a better view, let's say we want to look at Widgets LLC, we can click on them here and filter it down a little bit more. We can see they're doing pretty well and actually went down a little bit in May compared to April. The next thing down here is we might want to look at, well, how are their scores laid out across the different assessment areas? We have all of our clients here. And if you're familiar with my other Power BI CIS Critical Security Controls assessment, we have you assess them against 4 key areas for each safeguard. And the first one is their policy defined? And there's different options we can choose there if they have a policy around that safeguard. Is it implemented? So have they implemented that control? Is it technically enforced or otherwise built in where it's not just in policy, but we're actually enforcing it somehow or automating it? And then is that control reported back to the business? And so we can look at where we've assessed and where all our clients fall here. We can see here we're in policy defined and approved written policy, informal policy. We can take a look at control implemented and see where they fall within there. And then same thing with technically enforced and reported to business. And then the last thing here, which is in beta, we're trying to see if the value makes sense and if this is useful or if it's not. So it's in beta, but this is looking at what is influencing within your specific target or your specific client base their key target achievements. So when we look at this, what it's doing is it's taking all of your client assessments and it's running an analysis and trying to see, hey, what influences our customers or our clients' target achievement percentage to go up. In this case, when our policy defined as approved written policy and our control reported to the business is reported on all systems, which makes a lot of sense, but that's driving a lot of our target achievement increases. We can do the same thing here where we look at decrease and have it run that analysis and look at that. So this is in beta. Let us know if you find this useful or if the value is really not there. We're kind of testing that out. But if you'd love to learn more, go check it out on our website, and really appreciate everyone's support.